Imagine living in a world where humanity awakens to remember why we are here on the earth in this moment of great transformation and possibility. What if we choose to energetically gather, to open our hearts, to share our gifts, and listen deeply to the invisible worlds and the voices of nature and our ancestors? To amplify our internal lights and remember who we really are, the powers that Creator has given us. Imagine choosing to consciously cultivate this state within our bodies, minds, and hearts on a daily basis. Imagine living in tune with the cycles of nature and feeling just how connected, how inseparable we are from one another and what's happening on our earth today. Imagine living our lives in the vibration of praise and gratitude for the beauty surrounding us and allowing ourselves to open to the joy, the vastness of who we are, beyond our physical bodies, beyond our stories and identities and roles. What would happen if humanity woke up and lived in service to love? What if we remembered that we humans were created to be stewards of this garden planet? What if we allowed ourselves to commune with a benevolent intelligence larger than ourselves, the essence that connects us to all life in this universe? What if we remember right now that we are miracles created by love? Imagine growing up under the loving guidance of a wise elder who has instilled this kind of wisdom in us from the time of birth. They have shared their stories and myths and songs that now live in our bones. What if these stories could serve as a map for us and future generations to find our way in the world, bring out our gifts, and reconnect with nature?
The message that I feel in my heart is that one person can't do it alone. That we're at a place, if we're going to survive as a human race, we need to unify. We need to work together. Just putting the message out. Just putting the word out. It is intended to reawaken the heart. And if we don't do that, then we're not doing our jobs. You know? It's an obligation that we have.
And it's time to start looking at what our roles are. From everything. The way we dress, the way we present ourselves, the way we conduct ourselves in a group, the way we're patient with one another, the way that we accept one another. That's important. And I know that Creator gave me a beautiful daughter that was meant, she chose me to be her mother. And I'm honored by that. And when she passed, it made me realize how important that role of motherhood is, how that is so sacred. And just amazed that that butterfly flew by here, because that is the symbol that I wear for my daughter. We know that the life of a butterfly is very short and it's very delicate. Motherhood is very important, but it does take a village of mothers to raise a child. It does take a village of fathers to guide a child. That's what we have the honor of seeing and doing with the children that we bring into this world. But like I said, it's not done alone. Couldn't do it. I couldn't do it without the energy and the spirit of Grandmother SaSa, with the other grandmothers that are here, with my own sister, with my own mother. So it's that collective energy.
And in the song circles that I'm called to hold, everyone's voice is hugely important. And especially those ones who feel they've been told somewhere down the line that they don't have a voice, are welcome in there. And that's where the healing has started, is we all have an agreement in there that we don't talk about our voices in any negative kinds of ways or binding kinds of ways, that we treat our voices like a newborn baby. So we hold that so carefully and with a lot of responsibility. It's not just a loving, but it's with that wisdom of responsibility that we can destroy and traumatize, or we can choose to uplift life. Women are hearing the call to allow their voices to shine and be heard in whatever state it is, because our voices are not us. And they are us, but they are filled with the elements. If the moon is full, your voice sings in a different way from the sliver moon. If you are on the ocean, all of that moisture, the salt of that ocean infuses your very voice. That's why the Japanese people sing in this way, and the Europeans sing in this way, with the green of those islands, the Ireland, and the harsh, sometimes just chilling to the bones wind creates the Irish voice. And so it's so liberating to know that you're not the one singing, and that when you come in with the prayer of it, the prayer speaks through you. And the way that the grandmothers sing with the cracks in the voice, and sometimes wavering under the tune, a little bit, that's where spirit comes in. It's very desirable in the Asian, Eastern way, indigenous way of singing the voice, to let the crack happen, let the graggly sounds happen in the voice, because that's where spirit and nature comes into the voice. And I love the grandmothers singing. Those are my favorite voices these days. It used to be, when I was younger, on the pop radio or the classic, the best country music singers, but now it's the grandmothers, because I'm realizing and I know that their voices are full of the life and death.
I think of this gathering as bringing everybody together, regardless of who we are, because we are children of the light. We have this light body that has no maternal language. It speaks the language of love, and it belongs to a nation of humans. We're all equal here. They have told me that I need to move as quickly as the light. I was told that humanity is made of love and light, and we have to return to that.
Walking into humanness is one of the hardest things we'll ever do. You came to our school to learn how to be with people, how to understand people, and sometimes not understand people, because we just watch things, Being Hawk all those years, the things that, you discover and see and watch open up into those veils of truth. It's hard, because you don't understand humanness sometimes, why they would do the things They do. And then it begins. And hopefully you're there that you could help them, assist them, give them direction sometimes. And I think that's, that's what we're doing right now. We're talking about wisdom and all the years of our journey and walk, and to make it to this point to help the next 7 generations.
We have a word in Māori, and it's called aroha. And when it's just used in an English term, it means love. But aroha means the breath, and aro, it means everything that you are. You're giving the ha, the energy of all that I am, I give it to you. And the aroha of all that I am also mixes with all that you are. And together we combine, together we join, we become one. I use a word a lot, and the loved ones, they gave me a word that I have to really start using, and it's called amplification. And for me, amplification means that I turn on my light and I just explode it. I amplify it, yeah? Because it's already who I am, It's not about expansion. Expansion means that you're sending it out and it gets thinner and thinner. But amplification means you turn up the volume. This is also what love is, and communication.
In a simple way, I see that connection to the heart as living truthfully and living in love. But from a more multidimensional perspective, it's so beautiful to see all of these communities awakening to, yes, the full human value, and yes, the full divine value, the soul value, but also the multidimensional value, where else this consciousness that we are has journeyed to, and how that informs us in this life. And it's such a theme with the elders here, is they know, they experience the vastness of who they are, not just on that divine unified level, not just on that individual human honesty level. The body keeps us very humble, but also from that perspective of the journeys that we take outside of that, and how it so deeply informs our experience here.
In troubling times, that's when some of the most brilliant and healing things can occur, especially in history. There's been different movements in art or music that are an answer to different political difficulties happening. So that's what gives me life right now, is thinking that, okay, things aren't so great, but how many other people are inspired by wanting to change that? So maybe it has to happen for whatever reason. And I think the grandmas and, hopefully us too are a part of that movement of just bringing back humanity and love for each other and compassion and community. It's really important.
I believe it is so crucial to sit with those elders, those wise ones, to hear of a way of living that's not the way of living that most of us were raised with. And from the language of indigenous tribal speakers, the basics of how we are and the instructions on how to be, they're so different from the cues that are given to us by the dominant culture. So anytime there's an opportunity to sit with elders, my answer is always yes.
And we need to be consulting the grandmothers. We need to be consulting the wisdom that they hold. And many grandmothers, they're out of practice because they haven't been honored. They haven't been told that they have anything to offer. And so then it starts coming back to the core ones of who we are, the mother, the father, and the child. And whether we are 90 or we are 9, we are children. We're still children of the divine. And that's another thing I love about the grandmothers, is they know that. At what point do we stop pretending that we're ever going to be anything but a child?
We're all students and teachers at the same time. So there's really no separation. We don't know who we really are. we're in this physical reality, but we don't know who we are in the light body. Some people know who they are, but not everybody, not the majority of humanity. I'm finding more about who I am outside of the physical body. I was at home in Central America, in Guatemala last year, and I was at my teacher's house, and I was gazing into the healing room, and before I knew it, there was a feeling of someone being next to me on my left, and I turned around, and there was this luminous being next to me. And I said to the luminous being, I said, "Who are you?" And the being said to me, "Flordemayo, I am an aspect of you, and you are an aspect of me, and you and I are the same." So a year later, I come here to the Chi Center, and my first vision that I have about the gathering, I am in the main building right here. And being in the main building, I heard this cosmic sound. And inside the building, there were two luminous beings dancing, like in a circle, just holding each other, dancing. And in the middle of the dance, I come in and I say to them, "Who are you?" And they both simultaneously answered and said, "Flordemayo, we are your twin souls." And again, and you and I are the same. And so they opened their arms, and I went over, and we embraced, and we danced in this beautiful, beautiful circle. And that just kind of went on all night until the following day. So I'm seeing myself as moving into that, that understanding that outside of my physical body, there is this other luminous body that is a part of myself. And much more than that, I don't know, because I'm not one to ask questions or anything like that. I just accept things for what they are.
Flordemayo, you were speaking about the Mayan symbol for the day. Would you share with them, because it was very meaningful to hear about that?
Yes, today in the Mayan calendar is the day of Ish. Ish in Maya says the spirit of the feminine. But in the sacred teachings of my ancestors, Ish is our relationship. Ours mean humanity, our relationship as humans with nature. And it is that we are experiencing throughout the day. And so we are reminded once every 20 days to just put our prayers out and to thank the spirit of nature, of all the beauty that is around us, again and again and again, and to be observant, to look at the birds and look at nature, feel the wind and feel and look at the clouds and feel everything around us, because we can't separate ourselves from nature. All of us, everything that is organic, has the spirit of the sacred breath. It has the spirit of the sacred fire. This is the sun that shines upon us. We have the spirit of the Mother Earth in which we walk on, and we have the spirit of the sacred waters, which is our first element of life. And I thank you so, so, so much on this beautiful, beautiful day of Ish. Thank you.
So I would love, we just had our opening ceremony and for the day today and celebrating the spirit of the feminine. We didn't get to hear your voice to discuss how you see the rising of the feminine spirit in our world and the importance of that, and how we can each cultivate that in ourselves, in our lives, in our relationships, and with the earth.
Yeah, I'm starting the day recognizing the feminine within me. It's a beautiful reminder, and also recognizing, reinforcing this importance, the deeper need, deep longing for healing of our relationship, human relationship with the Mother Earth. And also deep longing of healing of relationship with each other, between male, female, but deeply is also a healing within us, the masculine, the feminine principle inside of us. Both energy is present inside of us. It's really up to us, how to activate both sides, how to live within harmony with the presence of both inside of us. The male-female own principle is in our bodies, like here connecting here. Connecting here. We live here too much, too often. It doesn't mean that part is not important. It's important. But if we only live there, then we're missing here. If you're only living here, we're missing here too. That's not good either. In long term, could be problematic.
So we go back to balance.
Right, balance.
We go
this
back to
union,
balance.
this connection, this connection.
Yeah, we go back to balance, and we go back to going into a place of trust. We become babies again, and we go into the bosom of the mother, and we go into that place of just eternal trust. And so we forget that as we're growing and as we become adults. But we have to go back to that. Because when we're in that place of loving trust, then the unknown to us is not so frightening. And that is what's happening to society right now. We're in a state of fear, and we can't afford that. Because we have children that are coming in the future, children that are present, and they are depending on us to build and strengthen these foundations for us, for the children. Us meaning all of us humans, and especially in this day of Ish, we're just not humans. There are the trees, there are all the animals around us, and they have babies. They're seed carriers. And so we, as seed carriers, because we have this, we have to think, and think in that way. What are we going to do to preserve the seeds for the future generation? Us, male and female, as seed carriers. Men, like women, are seed carriers of humanity. But everything around us is also reproducing. The trees, the bees, the birds, the little animals, everything is reproducing. And we have to protect that, because our children have the right to see the beauty that we see right now. For me, when I think of being a child in Central America, and I see myself here, and I go back home, and I think, how much destruction could have happened in 70 years, 50 years? The rivers have become dry. The birds have disappeared. The monkeys have disappeared. What happened to the beauty that I saw as a child? When I gazed at my trees, I saw beautiful, beautiful singing birds, almost that you can touch them. And the monkeys, they lived there with us.
we're asking a rushed society to slow down and be still and feel the breeze. Then when you feel the breeze, how much water is in it? And when you feel the water that's in the breeze, where did the water come from? And then when you've been told where the water came from, what condition was that water, that expansive water? What condition was it in? And then by now that breeze has been through your lungs. Where did it land in your body? Is it near your heart? And then has it healed some old memory, or has it rekindled a favorite memory of some joyous time when you were asked to blow the candles out on a cake? And you remembered looking around and feeling the joy of the family, feeling your grandparents around, celebrating that you were actually born. And you had to breathe in and take a big breath to blow all those candles out. And all the family have been around you, loving you to the nth degree.
I would encourage you more to feel into yourself, not think. Yeah? The main thing that inhibits Western women is the brain, is the mind. And I was also taught to be quiet. Yeah, you be quiet, you be still, and you watch. And you listen, not just with your ears, but with your eyes, with your feelings, and feeling in the skin. You know, you can walk into a room and you hear us on the stage, but what are you hearing? What are you hearing? What is resonating with your system, your cells? What is it in you that is needing to be woken up? And so when we're communicating, a lot of it actually is not just about words. It's actually about just sitting there and feeling a person first. Yeah, even just touching a hand.
One day I was so angry and feeling so lonely, you know, you have those days that you feel totally abandoned, and I felt so terrible. And I live near the seaside, so I thought, okay, now I have to go to the sea and find myself a wing, a seagull's wing. And I did. I went to the beach, and just the minute I got to the beach, there was this wing standing up, right straight up in the sand. I thought, wow, this is great. And I felt so grateful to the white buffalo cob woman, and I was singing home, and it was wonderful. And then the next Friday, I was on a Monday, and then the Friday after that, I thought, okay, I have one wing, I'm gonna do this twice. I want the other one too, because I use it in my work. It's for healing and it's for freedom, and I really, really, yeah, love to embody this energy of this seagull. And I went, and it had been a big storm, so the whole beach was, well, chaotic. And then I was with a friend, we were walking her dog, and we came to a part, you know, in Holland you have those lines, I don't know the word in English, but we call it a pier, to divide the beach and to take care of that there doesn't come floods. So there was this compartment, and we came in such an area, and it was full of little wings, this big, like 24. I could pick them up like flowers. So like, wow, what is happening to me? What is this, you know? And then I turned around to go home with her, and I was totally overwhelmed. And then suddenly I saw this other seagull wing just waving in the wind on a wire. It was like, oh my gosh, this is unbelievable. And it was such a sign from the spirits. And I went home and I made ceremony for these little wings all around me, and I sat and I asked the spirits and my guide, what is this, what is going on? And I hear it really so clearly in my head, okay, you found these wings and they come from little birds. They were caught in a fisherman's net, and it's your job to recreate them, make a new life for them. And that is what you have to do. It was so clear. I mean, there was no way to doubt anything. So I just didn't. I just did my job. Yeah, I just did my job. And as I see how it works, most of the time I create series of shields. Once in a while there's one, but most of the time, like for the clan mothers, there were 13. And then there is the soul series from my own shields, and they were very big, they were large shields. And I have created a series of the sacred directions, see? But how this works, that is like a pregnancy. Feeling very deep inside that something wants to be born, wants to be coming into the world. And it can take months, and it can be very uncomfortable, because this urge is there and it's not the moment yet, you know? And all of a sudden there comes this moment that you know, okay, now I have to go and create. So what I did is that I sorted out every bird, like pheasant feathers, guinea fowls, turkey, whatever, everything, raven. And then I made a circle of the feathers, and I did ceremony for the birds. And I met them all. I just thanked them all to give this beautiful gift for creation. So when I feel I have to create, I open up and the work comes through. And my hand's creating it. And there's nothing that I can do about it. I mean, yeah. They are so gorgeous of themselves, and it's such a color healing, every shield. So that's what it's meant to be. That's also my gift to humanity. It has to be color healing for everyone, as for myself, during the process of creating, of course. Yeah. As I see it, all species have their own message, their own medicine. And as I see for birds, those beautiful colors, those beautiful, you know, this angelic energy, it's just meant for, as I see it, meant to heal, because color is very important. It aligns us with our chakras, it aligns us with our being, it gives us the remembering of whom we really are. So as I see it, it's like, I can't imagine a world without birds. I couldn't. No, I couldn't. And if you say for maybe a raven, which is totally black, to me it's the connection in between the father and the mother. Yeah. So yeah, it's the magical place to give us this bridge to connect. Yeah. So, and there's all colors in the raven as well. If you close your eyes, you can see it. Yeah.
Those things those beings, those presences, energies that we spend time with become who we are. If you're longing to be a grandmother one day, spend time with the grandmothers. If you're longing to be a mother, you're a young girl and you want to call in that mother self, hang out with the mothers. And it's the same thing with the song. Do you want to be in resonance with your human family? Song is one of the most beautiful ways you can do that. It's about that allowing. And in fact, those sisters who are singing a little too loud and those ones that are singing in their own key, I love it. I love that allowing. It's a chance to practice that allowing. And sometimes, you know, you want to bring awareness to singing together as one. And but to be, especially as a song guide, to be very aware, if ever pointing out someone, especially in the group, in the community, saying, your voice, can you, your little underpitch, bring, how much damage that can do. There's something about your voice that's not fitting in, you know, or, and that is classic story from every one of us in our public schools who were joined a choir and told, maybe you should go do art and not sing. And then the rest of their lives, they don't sing anymore. What's up with that? You know? So, and I'm experiencing this here in the Gathering for Humanity. That's what's different about we've all gone to conferences and gatherings and been in this place where you just feel like, where do I belong and how do I fit in? And I feel the grandmothers show you that everyone belongs. Everyone belongs, and you're given something without even having to ask for it. Grandmother Flordemayo here has been, she sees me and she says, can I get you some water, and just puts it there in front of me. She doesn't let me say yes or no to that. And that's the beauty of the grandmothers. It's just giving you without you even asking. And then that really, you feel this sense of really being seen and belonging.
We've been saving seeds for the future generations. And with the seed temple, I also have other tangible temples that represent the 4 sacred elements of life. So I have water that's spouting out of a rock, and I say, this is my water temple. This is my water source. I live here with a well. And I go back and talk about how precious water is, how we can't live without it, you know, how our body is a high percentage water. Water is our first sacred element of life. But sometimes I'll ask people and say, do you know what the 4 sacred elements of life are? And out of a large group, there might be one. So we're really so behind, you know? And in the seed temple, what we are doing is also saving food. So we have food, water, seeds, and we have the land.
I love my home. I love being at home in New Zealand. I love my land of Tuhoe and Turuera. I love the sea. And when I travelled out, and I'd cry because I wanted to be home. Always longing to be home, but also knowing that I had to be out doing this work. And so I always remember, it doesn't matter where I am in the world. It's the same Mother Earth, it's the same Father Sky, or the same Creator, same universe, whatever. Yeah. But if I don't find it in me, if I don't wake that up in me, I can go anywhere or go be anywhere and I'm not going to be happy. Yeah. So it's about finding that space in me wherever I'm at to connect again, to come back to the connection of my heart. Yeah. I walk on this earth, this part of America, and I can think of home. Yeah, so in my energetic field, in my memory, I can imagine myself walking on my land. Yeah, I look up, I see the sky. We have the same sky. Yeah, but it's in here, my knowing. And my knowing is my heart. And this is where we're all going back to the heart energy. My prayer for humanity is that everybody wakes up. Everybody wakes up and turns on that internal light. We all have it inside us. We were all born with it. We had it. You know, if you watch babies, they are so amazing. They are so awake. Yeah. And then as they develop and we're told that, you know, you can't do this and you can't do that, the light starts dimming. Yeah, the light starts dimming. Of course you teach them things to keep them safe and keep them, you know, help them to have respect for things. Respect is such a, is an honouring. Yeah, you honour that water. You don't go just jumping into it. Yeah, you respect it because you don't know what's there. And so you turn on your light. Every day is a time to light your light bigger. You know, your love. Smile at somebody. Yeah.
What it boils down to is the definition of love. People are very confused about what love means and what it looks like. You know, I meet a lot of people that say, my parents never told me they loved me. And they wear this and they carry this burden with them through their life. And I have to stop them and say, but did they ever show you that they loved you? Well, I guess, you know, in the little things that they did. Well, of course, that's what love is about. It's just not the words that you speak. It's how do I express that to you? Because I can tell you that. I can say I love you and not mean it. But the words are there. But when you truly love somebody, you show them in the little gestures. You know, you clear the path for them if you see they're going to fall. You brush the hair out of their face when you see it's getting into their eyes. You tell them there's boogers running down their nose. And, you know, those are gestures of love. And it has no time bound. It has no element. It has no boundaries. But we put boundaries on it because we think it can be measured. And it can't. It can't be measured. It just, you feel it. And people can feel when you're pretending like you love them, or if you're rushed just to say, I need to tell you I love you. And it's like the definition, what does it mean to you? And so love, you know, how we can share more of it is just by what we do and how we demonstrate it. How we take care of the earth, how we take care of each other, how we take care of things that are important to us. You know, that's what love is all about.
We're all on a journey on this earth walk. Where do we want to go? What do we want to become? But before that time, we came from the stars. We're star people. And then we were birthed into this earth. And what I'm here to do, you know, as a dreamer, as a seer, it goes more beyond that. Because, you know, as a healer also, I do it quietly because a lot of the patients are 4th stage cancer, very sick people, and they don't know what to do. You know, a lot of people are afraid.
When we are afraid, is that we don't understand the unknown. The truth of the matter is that we don't. It's part of the great mystery. And so we as humans are afraid to walk into something that we don't understand. And so that's where the fear comes in. But if you're in a place of surrender, and what that means is that you put it in the hands of the Creator. And you ask, you know, beloved Creator, guide me, guide me.
As Grandmother Flordemayo says, our children have the right to see the beauty we see right now. The grandmothers are speaking, the wise ones, the ancient ones, the remembering ones, the trees, the stones, the earth, the waters. They have all been speaking to us, but most of us haven't been listening. Now we are in what some are calling a pandemic. We must go into the heart of the earth and trust in what is unfolding, in what life is offering us, and in the great unknown. Our future ancestors depend on us to strengthen our foundations of trust. It is our responsibility to preserve and protect the seeds of beauty in this world, not for ourselves alone, but for future generations and all the species of life on Earth now and to come. It is time to remember our value as human beings, that our compassion, patience, peace, trust, and openness are the skills needed for this time. Let's allow Spirit to speak to us and life to move through us. We must gather together energetically to open our hearts and lift our voices with the songs and stories that remember us to wholeness, to wildness, to belonging. We turn our gaze, our attention to the grandmothers, and we listen with open hearts. We listen.
To just constantly be in surrender and to be in the moment. Yeah. To just listen to nature, everything around me as to, you know, how things are unfold. You know, right now we're being interviewed and there's a little mama hummingbird and she has her baby in a little nest in the hole of the tree. And she's going back and forth and she's feeding her babies, you know. And this is all about migration. The hummingbirds come from another place to raise their babies. And if we take all of that away from them, where are the babies gonna, you know, come back and have their babies? If they don't perish, then they'll have to find a different route to another place, you know, wherever that is. So our children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren won't be able to see that. I have South American DNA, Central American DNA, North American DNA. My ancestors come from North America also. I am Amerindian. This is who I am, is American Indian. And I see and I hear what is going on, you know, between the Americas. And I know in my heart that a lot of these families have no idea that they're a separate people. They don't understand that because the migration has been happening since the beginning of dawn. We're migrating beings. The same as the wild animals. And how do you put walls to separate the animals? How do we stop that? How do we say to nature, you can't move into the land because the land belongs to no one. The land belongs to everyone. And we have the right as humans to live on the earth and be able to sustain ourselves and raise our children. Humanity is in the midst of these crossroads, and it's causing a lot of separation all over the globe, all over. So when I'm awakened at night, I go through this memory of all the things that I saw. And so I invoke the prayers.
In our way, in the Hopi way, there's a saying that without the mother, the family is lost. So motherhood, sisterhood, grandmahood is a very important role. And like you mentioned before, unfortunately, we have become so involved with our own self that we don't consider that as sisters in the universe that we say we all serve and we are here for the same purpose, and that's to bring life into the world. Women are becoming very competitive in their own role, and we're forgetting about the sacredness of womanhood. And Creator gave women the ability to have babies. With that right to give birth comes extreme compassion, love. When you hold a baby in your arm, there is no feeling that you can describe about what that feels like. To know that you carried this baby with you. And that is the joy of motherhood, and that we should celebrate that with all the sisters in the universe. I think that when we become too involved with trying to be better than, say, I want to be better than Grandmother SaSa here, then it disrupts that energy, that important energy that I don't need to walk in front of you. It's just like any relationship. I don't need to walk behind you. I need to walk beside you. And sometimes I need to pull you up. And sometimes you need to pull me up. But we forget to do that with one another. In fact, we're like, okay, you're on your own. You know, you got yourself in that situation. Figure out how you're going to get yourself out. And that's not what we should be doing with one another. We should be lending a hand to them and saying, okay, I understand that. I'm woman too. You're woman. Let's walk together. And that, I think, is very important in how the universe is starting to develop. Because like I've mentioned before, the prophecy from the Hopi people and universal prophecy is that when the grandmothers begin to speak, then the world will begin to heal. And that's what we carry on our shoulders, is that how do we heal the universe if we're having internal conflict?
Everything is a circle. Everything began in a circle. Our womb space is a circle. The earth is a circle. Flowers, everything. And so it's just responding and aligning with that sacred geometry that's in nature. And when we're in circle, it's very holistic, and it is a container for to hold the blessings, the prayers, the hurt, the tears, the beauty, creation. It's like a little womb, a little womb. And it is like almost like a sacred responsibility, like the way as mothers, when we become mothers, we learn about that sacred responsibility. When we experience the roundness of our bellies and that there's a holding that we are giving ourselves to, then the circle, and women get it so innately because of our holding of life in our wombs, and even if it's not a physical life, every single cycle of the moon are releasing the seed of potential. So when the circle comes together, when it's held in beauty and in prayer and in a good way, then life can come from that manifestation of the prayers. Hopefully, intentions of the good of all, not just the human beings. In fact, that's one ripple of the circle is the human being, but we're there for all of life.
So when we dance together in a circle, we dance counterclockwise, the way the earth moves, and we caress our feet as if thanking our Mother Earth for giving us our life. And when we dance, we also sing. We never discourage anyone from singing because everything has a voice, everything has a song. Every single element on earth has a song. We just have to listen to it. So those little hummingbirds, they have a song. Yeah, every little thing has a song. So these songs are naturally gifted to us, and the way that we sing them and how we sing them completely affects our body. It affects our soul and our spirit. So when someone's passing to the next world, for example, there are songs that will quicken that journey, so they're not in pain. And there are songs that you will have come to you in your dreams. There are songs that are honor songs, for example, for the blessings of life. And when we encourage our youth and encourage others to sing, it lifts not only their spirit, but ours as well. So we're doing a service to the animals, and to the birds, and to the waters. Everything that has a life, we're doing a service by offering them a song.
In this moment in time, we have to circle. We have to create circles. And what I just did not so long ago, in the beginning of this year, I came to the point that I felt it is important to create a circle of love and light. And as I see it, as I initiate a circle, what I do is before that, always doing a ceremony to open up the space and to make this whatever spirits or animal helpers or guides coming in for everyone. And I always have these, I work on the floor, so I have little pillows going round and an altar in the middle where people also can put their things on for energy or for healing or for the togetherness. I mean, it can be so many things. It's not only that I have to point it out, it can also be their issue or their intention. So then I smudge the room and I take care of the energy and put some crystals everywhere extra, to feel that it's just a clear, open space. And when we start, we share the talking stick because it's important for everyone to do what they feel at heart and that they have the time and they receive the space to speak from their hearts. The circle for me is a never-ending process. It is always going on. You're looking only in the mirror, and if you're in a circle together, you see many mirrors around you because you're all the same. And to understand that, that your neighbor is the same as you are, and there, you have to be in a very safe space together. to understand, and then you can grow and carry whatever has to come into the world. And if you finally come into this feeling that you feel this is what I know from a very deep place within, it's very deep knowledge, yeah, then you can live it by the rules, which is not at all difficult. It's just familiar. You recognize what you feel.
We asked the question at the end yesterday of the wisdom panel about the role that nature has in showing us, mirroring back who we are, and why it's so important that we in this generation preserve nature, protect nature for our children to have those mirrors, to know who they are and to explore and to live life. Could you speak a little on that?
Puria nei for us was this way of coming into nature, using the nature to help us heal some
to wash
away any sorrows, blow away maybe depression,
make clean.
Yes, and then over time the sun will come up again. Puria nei e te hau, horahia e te ua, whitiwhitia e te rā. Makere ana ngā here, herere, wairua herere, inga ho o te rangi. Whitiwhitia e te rā. Mahia ke nā pararuraru. Makere ana nā here, makere ana nā here. Kei te mihi, kei te mihi, kei te mihi, kia koutou, kia kōrua, kia koe tuahine.
We are all, as you know, as everyone that is choosing to tune in likely intuits, we are all not just connected as humanity, but connected with the earth, through the earth. That is our connection as humanity. We are cells of this planetary being, and as such, this planetary being that is Mother Earth is a cell in the greater physiology of the cosmos. And where does it begin? Where does it end? That thread. And the knowledge that was shared by this elder grandmother Nakai Breen was that by installing crystals of a certain resonance and in a certain way on sacred places around the world, that this technology would help to amplify the healing, balancing energies of the earth to help humanity's transition at this point. They simply enhance each individual's connection with themselves, with the earth, with their connection with the cosmos, to allow their voice, their gifts to be more remembered, more accessed, and amplified. And so when I kind of had that aha a few years ago, it's been a real gift to feel that that knowingness inside from a child, that I did have something to offer the world, and not yet knowing my voice, my place in it, and still finding, as we all always will. But to feel that, you know, with this project that we work with, that we also have a role to play that can really help in the harmonizing. That's what crystals are. They are harmonizers, and all these different voices, when harmonized, it allows the differences to be felt and appreciated, because you are looking through that lens of wholeness and experiencing through that lens of wholeness.
Well, music is a healing gift. For us, it's a natural part of life. So everyone should sing, and everything has a spirit in song. The birds we hear singing now, the noise a plane makes, that's doing its own song. All these little animals and things that we hear around us are showing us that life continues and that we all have a responsibility on this earth. So we, as life givers, can share with women, and we have, thankfully, around the world, about how it is our right, our responsibility to make sure there is a future for up to 7 generations. Now that's my job, you know, and however I can find a way to do that is a good thing, is a blessing. And so the next generation, of course, she'll be continuing on for 7 generations, and then the next generation, another 7 generations. So we happen to live on very ancestral sacred land, where one of our ancestors died there at the age of 110. And we remember these songs because they pull us together, they open our mind, they also clear a way to release any kind of preconceived ideas of what a woman is supposed to be, or has to be, or should be, or could be. There's a lot of labels, there's a lot of stress and pressure, but nothing like lifting the voice in song, and where we all come together. It doesn't matter what age, race, religion, or color. We can all join hands together as one, sing and dance together.
You know, it's a pretty exciting way, you know, to share that good mind, the Iroquois ideology of being a good person through song and being creative. Is something I'm very passionate about. And my native name is Gahawita, which means she carries it along. So it's kind of goes in hand with the, you know, the elders know what we're going to be doing, I think, with our lives. So it's pretty cool. I feel very blessed to have been singing with my mom for 31 years, and I'm excited to be here with the grandmas. And it's so important to feel like you belong somewhere. Like I feel like wherever they are, I belong there because they love me, and it's that grandma energy is so important. And knowing my grandmother, she's, you know, the reason I started making art, and she just was a happy, hilarious, strong woman. Like she influenced thousands of people's lives with her good heart and mind, and I hope to carry that along with my life too. And my mom too, you know, she's influenced countless people with her music and her heart, and I think that's really powerful, you know.
We've been blessed by many visionaries. People have told us, when I was a little girl, they said, your mission on this earth is to bring music that will be heard all over the world, and that came true. And it's not music for me particularly, but music heals, and it's music for unification, harmony, balance, and all these words used within the music are direct inspirations from our ancestors. Because, for example, when I started praying for and asking for our ancestors to help me through writing particular recordings, like the Peacemaker's Journey, how he learned forgiveness. He had his entire family murdered by an evil chief who wanted all the power. And he laid by a lake for days with his heart on the ground. He just wanted to give up. And they lived in a very dark time. So when the Peacemaker came to him, Skanalahawi, he said, you can live a different way. Let me show you this wampum. Let me give this to you as a reminder that the purple represents the bruising of the pain and suffering. And then when you forgive, you have the purity of heart again. and you can accept others and you can forgive them and you can live in peace. And so when this whole story came to me, I asked for it. In 5 days, the whole album was written and done, recorded, and these very songs, very powerful, ancient songs, I've been told by other chiefs, clan mothers around the nation that they'd heard these songs in their vision quest as well. They were true songs of peace, and to never stop singing them because the people needed to hear them. So we know that our children learn from hearing, from enjoying, and they mimic us. And when we look at our world and the suffering that goes on, if the women were asked, and the old women of the nation, they'd say, let's live amongst each other in peace. Let's sing our songs. Let's dance our dances. Let's celebrate life. Danwanuhe, laduhe, yagungwe. Danwanuhe, laduhe, yagungwe. In peace and war she will embrace, see strength and wisdom in her face. She'll offer her hand, though tired and worn, and nurture the land for those unborn. Danwanuhe, laduhe, yagungwe. Danwanuhe, laduhe, yagungwe. Her songs will soothe your soul to sleep, and the stories she'll tell you'll always keep. She'll quench your thirst, dry tears from your eyes, give food for your spirit, and bring us new life. Danwanuhe, laduhe, yagungwe. Danwanuhe, laduhe, yagungwe. She'll heal you inside, her prayers they carry high. We give thanks to the woman, friend, mother, lover, and guide. Danwanuhe, yaduhe, yagungwe. Danwanuhe, laduhe, yagungwe.
There's a song I want to share for humanity, for the waters that came through at the source of a river that comes down into Santa Fe. And I go to this source many times because the source holds everything you need, the healing, the new information, the vision. And I go there and I share my visions with the source. And I love how the river, which gives us all of the life we need, begins in a source that many times is so inconspicuous and unannounced. That's where the power is. It's not cased in a huge temple, and it's not got a big flashing sign that says, this is where the richness of life really is. So at this source, I'm sitting there and I get taken over by a song. A melody begins to move through me, and it is as soft and as easy flowing as the winds right now around us. And I'm in the presence of the source of the river. And my heart is being moved, my blood is being moved, and my voice begins to move up and down. And I don't know what it is, but but I'm allowing it to move through me. But I then begin to bring my awareness, my loving heart, and my embracing arms to hold this sacred song of the source of the rivers. And I begin to recognize the pattern in the song. And that's when I say, oh, that song is wanting to be sung right now. And it began just as simple as, ooh, 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 ooh. And I continue to listen, and then I'm taken over by the swirling aspen trees ahead. Ooh, and here's the role of the song carrier, is to hear that and allow it to be what it wants to be without me trying to, with my musical training or my, memory of the song I heard on the radio, but allowing that just to be what it is and honoring it and repeating it. Ooh, 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 la, ya, 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 ya. So it's happening like this, and then I'm taking that sacred responsibility of allowing a song to be sung through me, and so I'm recognizing that life is in force at the source of these rivers, and I'm in the mountains, and the mountains are like the Mama Earth breast. They are the givers of life to the entire community. They hold all of the nurturing, the medicines, the wisdom, the dreams are in these mountains of the earth that are like the breast of the woman that nurture life and give milk. And the river is flowing from her. And I ask the question because we are co-creators, human beings, to bring in these songs. And I ask the question, are there words to this song? And the beings spoke through me. And because I have been invited into the Lakota way, I heard the Lakota words. Mini wichoni unchi maka wani wachielo pila maya yelo hey dakuwa kanshkan wichozaniwa wani wachielo pila maya yelo hey mini wichoni, the waters of life. Mini wichoni unchi maka, Grandmother Earth. Wani wachielo pila maya yelo hey. Thank you for the blessing of the waters. Dakuwa kanshkan, all things in sacred motion. Wichozaniwa, for our health and well-being, so that we may live in harmony. Dakuwa kanshkan wichozaniwa wani wachielo pila maya yelo hey. So all of this is swirling around. And the language, the syllables wanted to come through, the sounding of those words in Lakota. And so I received that song. It was a transmission. It wasn't me. It was all of that life and the source of the river speaking to me. And now this is a new medicine song. that came from the ancestors of that source of that river. All the grandmothers who had come to that river many lifetimes singing the same way that I was doing. And the new song came in because it's wanting to have its own life. And so I give it away freely to those that want to sing to the waters in the Lakota language, Miniwichoni, which those words now are known worldwide from Standing Rock. I believe we're very, very ready as the women for healing. We've had enough. We've had enough. And it's been a progression, and it felt like a kind of long, slow progression of really coming together in song for the pure love and joy and expression and connection with other sisters. But over the years, we've become more and more into the prayer with the song, and that has allowed for the healing to come in. And we use song as a vehicle, as a way of communication, of expression, of praise to all that gives us life. And it's been an evolution of actually simplifying the songs. We began with songs that were sacred from around the world, some of them having lots of words or lots of melody or harmonies. And I kept hearing, and I think the women prayed it in, to go back to the original way of song, which is a single melody. And I simplify the songs down to a place where we can almost instantly pick up the song and be in the prayer. How fast can we get to the prayer is what I'm interested in. Not how many words can we learn, how many melodies can we hold, because there might be one lullaby that takes you through your whole life, like this grandmother Flordemayo lullaby that we've been weaving through the whole Gathering for Humanity. This comes from lineages and lineages of her family line, and she's sharing it now with the world. And we use that lullaby in our circles, and it's 4 notes. 4 notes that can be enough for your whole life. And that's what I've found the way of earth songs, medicine songs, is they're really, right now for the women, wanting to be shared in their most simple forms. And that's honoring the element of wind, the element of rain, of the river, of the earth humming, singing with us. And there's space enough for all of that to happen. And it's not so human-centered and human voice-centered, but it's including all.
I have a lot of respect for people that are walking their talk. I admire that. Yeah. Because we're doing what we're being called to do. And that's all that we can do as humans. Our lives are very short. I'm between 70 and 80, as far as I'm concerned, right now. And it seems like yesterday that I was a child. Yeah, it just seems like yesterday. Yeah, I look and I think about it, and it's incomprehensible to me where time went. So time is moving rapidly, and we don't have time to waste. The beloved mother is right. You know, we need to move as quickly as the light.
So it's always be conscious of what you're doing. If you're giving out love and compassion, I pray you will get that back. If you're giving out jealousy and discontent, be careful, because that's what you'll get back. And so that is my prayer for the universe, is that we need to be responsible for what we give to other people, because we're always giving to other people. But what is it that we're giving to other people? And the most important thing is that I tell people, don't take life so seriously. No. Do take life seriously, but have fun doing it. And laughter is the best medicine. I love to laugh. I love to make people laugh. And like I told you, I like to make people think I'm laughing with them, but I'm laughing at them. But that's okay, because we can all laugh together. And to me, that is what's going to lighten this heaviness that we feel on this earth, is that if we can share laughter, if we can share space, if we can break bread together, then the universe will start to heal.
And so I come out, and I'm like, I'm jumping. And they're like, and then she turns to me, she's, oh my God, grandmother. So she runs very quickly into her room, grabs me some water, which I'm so grateful for saving my life. And so here comes grandmother. Are you okay, grandmother? I said, yeah, I'll be fine. I'll get some water. So we're going down, get in there, and I said, okay, I learned this from my husband, along with other people, that when you're choking, raise your arms above your head, right? So I'm putting my hands up here like this. So then, Rick, what was your name again? Yeah. Checkbook over here. Heather is telling us, yeah, keep your arms up. And then Grandmother Flordemayo is like, yes, do that. It's like, okay, what happened to T-Rex? And then she stops, you know, I'm drinking water, I'm trying to breathe, and she's like, Grandmother, look at me. Look what I can do. Look, Grandma. And I said, excuse me, Grandmother, do you know I'm dying here? This is my moment. Please. So, yeah, sometimes they can, want all the attention. So I was like, okay. So that is one of the adventures that I've had with these beautiful ladies. But I'm so honored to hear you all laugh. It's very important that we bring laughter into our lives.
Go through the journey. Enjoy it. Do it. Be it. Live it. It's about living life. Too many people are saying, oh, I want to be enlightened. I want to, I'm thinking, why? For me, enlightenment means you're going to die. Because they're all up there, the enlightened people, or down there, or wherever. But this here, we're here to live, and we're here to experience joy, hopefully, yeah, and spreading the love and the light. And we have the cosmos up there, and the imagination of what that must feel like and look like, Why miss out on living life? And of course we're all going to fall into holes. If there was a fire, it was never, don't touch that fire. It was like, you touch that fire, you're going to get burnt. You're thinking, well, what does that mean? So you go and touch the fire. then you know what it means to get burned, so you don't do it again. My father or my mother would say, "Ana," and that means take that. Yeah? I'm not going to do that again, but I would never know. I would just get fearful of this is what we do to our kids. They become fearful. Yeah. All you can do is let them experience life. I lived a big life, and I'm one that had to find out for myself what it meant. Yeah. And I learned some big lessons, but it also made me who I am today. Yeah. And so who I am today I can talk about because I've been there, I've done that. So you know what? I know what the light is because I've been to the dark so often. If I didn't know how black the dark was, I wouldn't know what the light is. I wouldn't know what beauty that is. Yeah, if we're trying to live in the light and we don't know what it is to be in the dark, how do you know you're in the light? You know, my mother, I loved her. I loved her, loved her, loved her. But she wasn't a hugger. She didn't hug and kiss us because she wasn't brought up that way. And one of the things that I made a decision on at that time was, when I have kids, I am going to be hugging them and kissing them and loving them. Yeah, I am going to be giving them the biggest hugs and the biggest love, and I'm going to be telling them I love them. I learned that from my mother because she didn't do it.
It's a lot of prayer and balance, keeping yourself balanced, not allowing yourself to get, too down on one area, or too up on another area. So the balance is the trick. It's like walking a tightrope. Yeah. And you're just, you can make it, to the other side of the rope. The thing is, it's a journey of just keeping yourself balanced. And that's what the power of prayer is. It helps us to have the strength to stay balanced and to get through what we have to get through.
She could see something in me that I couldn't explain, and she said, "We go to the water?" I said, "Follow my car." So we got to the water's edge, and no words, she said, "I want you, Eila, to do a panoramic view of this whole place, taking in the sounds, the colours and the texture of the scenery." I had no choice. I listened. Then when we were done, she said, "You have just hit the bottom." God, I needed to hear that. I was done with being sad. I was done with trying to hide my sadness too, and the grief, and the anger, and all the other emotions that goes with overcoming these things that come up in life every day around the planet for thousands of couples. She said, "This is it. You may feel another few times, but it's never going to be like today." It taught me the power of the Creator. These are the unexplainable in the everyday life. But sometimes there's an opening that can come through the hole, and if you're willing, or if you're broken enough, it can make all the difference in your life.
you know, all of our journey throughout life, we have choice. In the Native way, we don't have a word for sorry. It's choice. And this is a choice you made. You wiped everybody out today with that single action that you did. And it must, you know, it has to come to the conclusion to that child to understand how they felt. Because they have a conscience, they have a choice. You as parents show them, you lead them, and yes, they have to do their own journey because your conscience will tell you, you know, go ahead. No, you better not do that. You know, what's mom and dad gonna think? And, you know, we've all done things in our life, but we all can change too. And when people hold grudges and animosity, you see it because it wears on them, and you see it through disease usually when they come in. The anger, the rage. Each one of us needs to be nurtured and loved and not told everything we're doing wrong, but everything we're doing right. And when we have that other part, it interferes with the work we're supposed to be doing. Because we did choose parents and siblings for a demonstration of healing some of the past work that we've done. And if it's so strong, I tell people when they come for their healings, if it's so strong that it's making you defenseless, then let's find out what trauma it was that it goes back to. And through the trauma and the release of that, you live. So we're all in a struggle right now, a test every day, whether we're walking in that journey in a good way or we're not. And when I see people biting at each other with their voices and whatever, I'm amazed. Because it's like, what did that create? Why would they do that? Because that's karma. And it's going to come back. But they don't think of that. You have a freedom. But you also have choices. You know, my prayers every evening are, Creator, if I have been ignorant today and said something to offend someone, please forgive me, because that isn't what I was here to do. And, you know, it's a good way, because if you can recognize it and say it and mean it from your heart, then you don't think Creator doesn't watch down here. He does each and every day. And I think that He's leading all of us on this earth walk, this journey of trying to get the people to recognize that some things aren't working. You got to change it. And if you don't talk to each other, how can you communicate and get it done? And I think that conflict that I'm seeing in a lot of people divorcing and stuff is they don't give it a chance. You know, if you don't talk, how can you conclude things? And then, if it doesn't work, then you move on. But most people don't take that chance today, you know, and walk through the hard times. Because it's through the hard times that you will embrace the love and light of the person and yourself.
I want to get rid of that title, my husband, because I don't own him. He's not mine. So I'm learning to say the man who walks with me through life, because that's who he is. And his name is Bryson. And these aren't my children. They're the children who chose me to be their mother, to guide them, to be their father, to guide them. And it's all about how we address them that make a difference in how we see each other. And when you can say that, you're entitled to your own opinion, I'm entitled to mine, let's find the common ground so that I don't make you give up what's important to you, and I don't give up what's important to me.
The first part of my life was all chaos, really chaos. And I was very much not aware of who I really was. At that time I became very ill as a reaction of the whole period therefore. And I came in contact with someone who did shamanic practice in Amsterdam. And it was immediately for me coming home, like, wow, this is what I know. So then I began to heal myself, to understand, and to heal the parts in me which were broken.
If you're going through something in your life, if there's an illness, remember that we get the illness, or we get the energy when we don't listen, because it comes into the auric field. We already have a feeling that, you know, hey, I'm not feeling good here. But the head says, no, you have to stay here, because we're doing an interview, you know. But it's saying, no, I don't feel good here now, I need to go, yeah. And we stop listening. We stop listening to those signs. And then you get a feeling, you know, where you start squirming around, you start feeling like, no, I don't feel good, I'm really starting to feel a bit sick. And you think, no, shut up, you have to sit there because you're doing an interview. And then, you know, so you have this whole talk happening before it hits the body. And then when you don't listen enough, the body has the impact. The physical feels the impact of what it is that we weren't taking notice of. Yeah. And sometimes, of course, we bring it from past lives, we bring it from an ancestor or whatever, but it's always with the intention to be healed. It's always with the intention to be released in some way, to be forgiven. Forgiveness is a huge thing, huge, because that enables us to love deeper. Yeah, it frees us up, you know, because who gives us the power to love ourselves? Yeah, and when we forgive somebody, actually what we're needing to do is forgive ourselves for holding on to the pain.
Thank you for embracing me in this beautiful way, in this sacred way, embracing me of light, of this beautiful light that is around me, outside of my body, inside of my body, beloved Creator. As I see myself merging and swimming within that beautiful, beautiful emerald light, beloved Mother, beloved Creator, thank you for this beautiful, beautiful healing, beloved Mother. As I become one with all of the nations of holy beings, beloved Creator, receiving their healing, beloved Creator. Becoming one with the spirit of the sacred water. The spirit of the sacred breath, beloved Creator. The spirit of the sacred fire, beloved. The spirit of the sacred mother, beloved earth, mother of all beings. I'm holding you in my heart, all of the invisible beings that dwell. All the invisible little ones, the little spirit of the little children that take care of the forest, beloved Creator. They take care of the plants and the trees, beloved Mother, the flowers and all of that dwells right here on our beautiful earth, beloved Creator. Blessings to all of these invisible little children. Bringing each and every one together at this moment, beloved Creator. Blessed be on this sacred day, beloved Mother, blessed be. Mm-hmm.